Hi there, I'm Tracy Marashley and I'm the lady trainer at GoFit Now, and today I want to share the first in a series of how to win at the gym videos. And I have Rudy Marashlian with me. He's my husband of 25 years and my partner in fitness crime for all of those years actually. And I want to pick his brains today so you can get a little bit of an idea of his fitness genius. Rudy, how are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. Fitness genius, so I like it. How much did I pay you to say that?
You didn't have to.
Yeah.
All right, so here's my first question to you, all right? Okay. So I called my video Getting Inside the Mind of a Real Fitness Pro. What's your definition of a fitness pro?
Okay, so a fitness professional would be someone who has got a good balance between theory, three simple things. Theory, practical, and then obviously getting results. So you can get some people who are very heavy with the theory and have got degrees, double degrees, all that, which is great, but they have not much practical. So you get some other people who maybe have a lot of practical and have just done a basic weekend course, and that's still okay, but they're going to miss some depth with some theory, basic anatomy, physiology, etc. And then again, so when you combine that, what kind of results have they been able to achieve, and what kind of people have they worked with? So answering it a little more, I'd want to see them at least have 10,000 hours plus a face-to-face or group training. I mean, how else do you become a pro? Part of it will be how much have you learned? How much have you applied? What kind of results have you got? It's pretty simple.
Okay, cool. All right, so with that in mind, how long have you been a fitness pro? And what motivated you to work in the fitness industry?
Okay, how long have I been a fitness pro?
Yeah, how many
years? I started working in fitness back, it was 1983, so it's a long time ago. So there was about 4 years there where I went into more helping, businesses or gym owners, and I tried to work in the health and fitness area as much as I could.
Yep.
So you could say it's an easy 30 years of working mostly full-time. I have a degree in exercise science, which I did that in Sydney, New South Wales. That was one of the best things I ever did, because it was a state-of-the-art. It was the first time it was offered, and just about anyone and everybody in the industry who was either a gym owner or a gym manager of some kind jumped onto that, because you realize once you start off working in fitness, you start off and you think, oh, I know a lot. Once you've done a few basic courses, you think you know a lot. And then after a little while, if you're really passionate about your work, you start to realize that you really don't know much, and then you have to really search out more information and the right information. So I was very lucky, very happy that the University of New South Wales came out with this course, and which I got onto very fast. So where were we? So you're looking at starting back off in 1983, doing multiple courses, doing a degree in exercise science, continuing education, that's all part of it. And then what was the second question? Because you asked me two questions.
Yeah, and my second question was, what motivated you to work in fitness? Why fitness? Why not some other field?
Okay, well, I was playing rugby league. I was playing football. So at a professional level. Mm-hmm. So I was just getting in at a professional level, and was there for a little while, and decided that didn't quite go the way I wanted it to go. There was some politics, and I didn't want to get into the politics of working all my way up to first level, first grade. And so then when I actually I just finished a career. I was wrapping up a career as electronics, because what I did as a kid for 7 years was electronics. And that was really interesting, and I got into that because I wanted to find out what electricity and electrons were and how they worked. It was interesting for me because I wanted to work with my hands and as well as my mind. So I did that for 7 years, but then it came to a point where there was a turning point in my career, so I had to decide, am I going to stay in that field, or do I do something else? And basically, having been an athlete of a high caliber, there's a cat scratching at the back of me. Where is he?
We have Orange here.
We got him here? I don't know if we
Can you see him?
I don't know. Is he there?
Somewhere there.
We got him?
Yeah. Bring it around.
Bring it around.
Yeah, we're going to introduce you to our cat Orange. He's been in. You can see him maybe a little bit there.
He's battle
All right.
scarred.
He's battle scarred. He's been to the vet and had to have his head drained because he got in a fight with a feral cat
Yep.
recently.
Yep. So,
We're
okay.
at home, by the way.
Yeah, we're in the backyard there. So where were we? Yeah, so I was at a turning point with my electronic career, and then I decided to I wanted to work in an area that I actually enjoyed. So I wanted work not to be work, and I wanted work to be more like a hobby.
Right.
Because then it doesn't become work. Because you hear stories about how people are enslaved in their work, or they just work just for money, make money, and there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you're passionate about. But I wanted to work in a hobby area because then it would not be work. So I thought, what am I good at? What do I really enjoy? And it was art. I could draw quite well, and then also I was a good sportsman, good athlete. And I thought, well, how do I get work in both areas? I got work in both areas, but then what really took off was the fitness. So because then I had to go, well, how do I monetize? How do I earn a living with sport? I wasn't being a professional rugby league player. So then I looked, well, what else is out there? What else is out there? What came up very fast was a gym instructor, trainer. And I was like, well, okay, next year I was there. Within 6 months, I was assistant manager of a club. It just took off really easily and fast. So, and that's basically the beginning of my health and fitness career. And that was 1983, towards the end of 1983. So basically I've been continuing it and loving it and enjoying it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that gives us a pretty good idea of, how you got started and why and so on. Now you've been doing it for, the cat's still hanging.
Yeah.
You've been doing it for a really long time, I'd say about 35 years. And now we've been in the United States for probably 17 years.
17, 18
and
years, yeah.
we've had a personal training business in the foothills of Los Angeles, or in the La Crescenta area, for the last, at least 10 years, right?
Yeah, 10, 11 years.
Yeah.
2005, 2006.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then there are various titles that get thrown around, like, a personal trainer, I'm a fitness instructor, but you're actually an exercise physiologist. What does that mean exactly? What is an exercise physiologist, and how is that different from a personal trainer? I'm a personal trainer, but you're an exercise physiologist.
Okay, so we're both certified with the American College of Sports Medicine, which is the leading edge. There's over 300-400 certifying bodies. So you can go and get your degree or associate degree, master's, whatever you like, in anatomy, physiology, biology, whatever. But if you're going to be a trainer, then you need to also get a certificate of some kind. And it's not a license. It's not, it's not illegal not to have one. But if you're going to work in gyms and you're trying to work, with like an ethical code, because there's guidelines, then you need to get with a certifying body. So you do their courses. So we picked the American College of Sports Medicine, and that's full of PhD research, all kinds of stuff. So that's the leading edge. Tends to be quite a bit medical. So they have different titles for different groups of people, whether you want to work in a hospital environment or out, with sports people or in gyms and etc. So it starts off and they have different grades. So with my experience and
Degree, right?
And degree in exercise science, I am deemed an exercise physiologist, which is basically means you have a good theoretical background of a university nature, and hopefully you have a lot of practical experience as well, and that hopefully answers your question.
Yeah, that's good. Now here's another question, because you've worked in Australia and in the USA. All right, so what do you see as the differences between how fitness is practiced professionally in Australia and in the USA?
Okay, so this is interesting because Australia is obviously smaller, 25 million people, the US 300 plus million. Here we have the American College of Sports Medicine, which kind of sets the foundation basically around the planet as to the guidelines. So, we'll use the 5 steps, how to warm up, cool down, based on their guidelines, and a lot of other certifying bodies do the same. what I found generally, just from working in gyms, indoor, outdoor, and also doing corporate fitness like we do and have done, is it's definitely a little more loose here in the US, and I think it's probably harder to monitor because it's so big and it's so spread. It's like in Australia, if you're a trainer, they have levels. You could be a level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, and at least gives the consumer an idea that, well, at least there's different levels of education. Doesn't guarantee that they're better, but usually at least they've put the trouble, the time, money, and effort into their career. Whereas here, you could do a $300-400 course online, read a book, sit for an exam, which is probably really easy to pass, and then just hang your shingle out and say, hey, I'm a trainer, and then try to charge what someone with 10, 20 years experience, maybe a degree, and try to get away with it. And most people do because they can, because people just don't ask. When you go to a doctor, you don't say, hey, show me your certificate, where did you study? Particularly, and trainers aren't doctors, but still, if you're paying someone to take care of your health and fitness or guide you, you want to know that they have a good theory background, so it's safe, efficient. You want to know that they have a good practical background, and also that they've worked with people similar to you and have gotten results. So definitely I find it's a little more cowboyish out here, a little more cavalier from that point. I know Sydney, Sydney, Australia, and Canada are very tight and rigid, not in a bad way. They're very much into their health and fitness and sports conditioning, so the level of education and also practical experience tends to be really high. And I can see that because I've worked with and seen trainers in gyms in the US as well as Australia, and definitely there's a higher standard in Australia, and I know Canada has a higher standard because I've met a few Canadian trainers. You can see what they do online, offline, etc.
So here's another question, just going off of that. What could somebody who was interested in hiring a trainer here in the USA look out for, or ask, or try to try and determine what kind of a trainer, because they could be getting Joe Blow who doesn't even have a certificate, or they could be getting someone who's like highly trained and has a lot of experience. Like, what would be a key question, one question that somebody could ask? I know it's kind of
one question,
unreal.
Okay.
One question that they could ask to get some idea of the quality.
I got it. Yeah, it's pretty simple. Actually, it's not one. It's at least three, and it's not hard. It's like, well, what kind of what courses have you done? Do you have a degree in something related to this, like exercise science or physiology? That would be one. They don't have to have it particularly, but obviously it helps because they've committed at least quite a bit of their time and effort in that area. So you want to find out who they're certified with, and then you can look it up online to see, is it one of the top 3 or 4, and then you want to know, well, how much practical experience do they have? Have they had? And a lot of them won't give you a straight answer. They might give you like, 5 years, 10 years experience. Yeah, but you want to find out, as a professional, is it part-time, full-time, that they've been working and getting paid? Because a lot of times it's like, I've been helping my cousin.
That happens a lot.
A lot, I've been training myself. Well, that's good, but that's not you. You could be 40 years old, need to lose 30 pounds. You're a female. Or you're an older guy, 75, who's got a hip replacement. That does not cut it from that point of view. So that's the second question. And then the third simple one is, have you worked with people similar to me? And, have you gotten, what kind of results have you gotten? And you really need to see it on paper or some kind of testimonial, because that just verifies that, there's a good chance it's true. 1, 2, 3. Education, results, and practical experience.
Good. It's pretty straightforward.
Yep.
All right. And then you've been helping people one-on-one for a number of years here in LA and also in Australia.
Uh-huh.
And I know that you want to get your message out to a lot of people on a broad scale. What are you working on right now?
Okay, 2 things. I'm working on putting a lot of this stuff that we have discovered through doing lots of education, personal education, also working with, top physical therapists. Some like one guy worked with, I'm just hesitating not to mention.
Don't mention any names.
No, I won't mention any names, but it's okay because a lot of these guys are private.
Famous people.
Yeah, like from the point, working with a National Basketball League, keeping the top guys, keeping them injury free. So he and I worked on a major feature film, so I learned a bunch of stuff from him. Worked with doctors, worked with chiropractors, worked with physical therapists, had them as clients, worked on them as well as working with them to help solve people's injuries, bring them back to better health. So over those years, we've collected a lot of gems, a lot of diamonds, whatever you want to call it, senior datums, and then this is what we teach our people when we work with them, and that's why I've written 2 books, writing the 3rd book, and not only just writing the 3rd book. The 3rd book will tackle it more from how exercise is medicine from a mental point of view. So, so that's quite interesting, from that to see what happens with people when they exercise. How it's very uplifting mentally, spiritually, if you want to go there. So this we're going to systematize it of some kind. So then we can run courses for trainers and teach them some of these basics that you'll not pick up anywhere else, because we've collected them over 30 plus years, working with top pros as well as going to university, doing a lot of other courses.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to finish off. I think it'd be fair to show people a couple of the books that you've written. So if they're interested in finding out a little bit more, then they can order these books on Amazon. So the first one is Fit, Lean, Healthy, 8 Simple Steps. It's the original book. Can you see that there? Good. I'm going to press this button here.
Yep.
Good. And then the second one is, here we go, How to Win at the Gym. Looks like it's backwards, but it does say how to win at the gym. So, yeah, you can pick both of those books up on Amazon. I'll put a link below so that you can, if you're interested, you can take a look. All right, so this was the first in a series of How to Win at the Gym videos. We'll be back again very soon with some more cool information for you. And Rudy has something else he wants to say.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, so those books were written, basically, the first book, Fit, Lean, Healthy, 8 Simple Steps, is basically a little workbook. So you can guide yourself, it gets you to set goals, gets you to do measurements, it keeps it really simple. You could say it's a little laborious, it's got a lot of details in it, so it's for people to work out at home or even in a gym.
People have had great success with it, actually.
Yeah.
Some people have had big wins.
That's true. I should not.
It's not laborious. It is step by step. It does take you through. It's pretty meticulous.
Yeah, it's got 8 steps. It's got a lot in it. That's probably what I meant by laborious. It's got a lot in it. Probably, we could have simplified it more, but it's got lots of little goodies in it. And then the other book was written because this was written for one of the gyms we work out of and still work out of this center. And you get lots of people, and we sit there with them and we tell them the benefits of training and they should get it. And quite a few do, which is great for them, because then we can download all this really important stuff that we've summarized and made it very succinct. Like how to stand, there's 7 checkpoints. All these important key points, like where do you keep your joints, how to maximize your workout, how to keep it safe, when to push, when to back off. So if they don't learn this from us, then we're like, well, how do we get it to them in another form from the point of view if they're not doing personal training? So hence came the second book, and this one really is for gym goers, and it's really for beginners. But yeah, we've had people with degrees in physical education come across it and go, wow, I love this, I'm giving this away, people are snatching this from me. So, to me it's very simple, and it's there to help guide you when you're in a gym, teaches you lots of simple things. And the books basically come out of what we do with personal training clients. That's all. I just wanted to add that for you.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. So we are ending off now. We'll see you again soon. Bye.